Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day I bid to our beloved lecturer, Madam Zainia. My name is Kamarina, and my teammates and I will be talking about power distance. So this video is solely on our readings and also on our opinions. There will be no animations and stuffs, but we will provide you with examples of what is power distance in general. So believe it or not, Malaysia has the highest power distance index, which is 104. And this is not really shocking because it is quite obvious in the society. For an example, our managers, the simplest example, our in-stores managers have so much more privileges than the employees, the staffs below him. The power of making decision is also on the higher ups. The common staffs have very tiny space to really voice out on their opinions and also on their opinions and voice their opinions out. Okay, so recently our YB Said Sadiq have been condemned by the seniors in politics because of his way of telling people, because he voices out his opinion, which you can see there is like obvious power distance example in that case. So our YB criticized on some political figures on bribery, and he was told to shut his mouth and also to reconsider him as the ministers, which I believe is somehow, I'm not citing any political stances, but as a human being, people assume that he has no rights to voice out his opinion on the things that he thinks that is wrong, which makes our power distance, which makes the power distance hierarchy is very obvious from what I see. So that is one of the examples that we can see in Malaysia, and there are so many more examples which my friends will be talking about later in the video. So from what I see, Malaysia is a very beautiful country and a very outgoing, and there are so many friendly people. Like all of the Malaysians, most of them are very, very friendly, but then when it comes to power, the power of voicing out their opinions, the power of making decision, the power of these types of power, the power of giving people the chance to talk, we are very lack on that part, which means that we don't really consider people who has lower status than us, but it is something that we can improve, but not in a blink of an eye. It takes education, it takes knowledge. So my friend Sabrina will explain further on that. And from what I see, there are so many more examples, so many more obvious examples that we Malaysians can see, and actually it is not a good thing at all to have high power distance. It means that you are dominating on the things that you do. You are being the dominant one, which can also have many bad things. Means that everything is interrelated with each other. Too high of a power distance is not good, but too low of a power distance is not really good as well. So we have to be very balanced. In Islam, let's talk about Islamic perspective. In Islam, there's a thing called wasatiyah, which is moderation, where everything we do has to be moderate. You want to spend, you spend based on your income. You don't spend too much, you don't spend too little. You have that moderation. In praying itself, we have moderation, where you don't neglect the world and you only focus on your akhirah, which is not good. You have to focus both dunya and akhirah, and also on how you treat men, hablu minallah and hablu minanas. You don't only treat Allah well when you don't treat other people well. So both Allah and other people, the relationship between Allah and other people is also very important to keep it in a moderate, in a very balanced way. You can't weigh You can't be biased in one side. So basically, it is very simple, and in Islam it teaches us so many things about moderation. And I believe that power distance is, we can apply power distance by having that wasatiyah thought in our mind, which you can have the power to speak, but you cannot neglect all the people voices, all the people opinions aside. You have to take their opinions into account and also consider it. You cannot just, okay, stop, I want to do this in my way, and stop, you can't say this, you can't, no. To be to really come power distance is not really, there's no solution, but then to overcome yourself of being that dictating, that dominating, you can improve yourself by having this wasatiyah concept in your mind.
Power distance refers to one of the four dimensions of cultural values that identified by J. Hofstede present inequality, which accepted and expected power is distributed unequally. This news on Twitter was about students arguing about the entitlement of lectures in Malaysia versus overseas. That as students, we need to respect the lecturer by mentioning their title like prof, doctor, and so on. But it's different from people who study abroad. Their lecturer prefer to be called by their own name and no title needed. This is where cultural identity takes place. We need to accept that some people want to be respected and appreciated by the title that they receive from all the hard work. That is how I relate the power distance with cultural identity. So thank you.
Talking about power distance, this is the example that I found. So do you know who is Kendall Jenner? Well, she is one of the Kardashians family. The Kardashian family is known for being rich and famous. Well, now Kendall is a model, and previously there was a Victoria's Secret fashion show, and Victoria's Secret is very picky on choosing their models. However, Kendall is lucky for being selected to be in the runway. Millions of people commented on her walk. For example, it was plain boring. That is not like how a model should walk. So this shows that by having the privilege of being part of Kardashian famous family can get you anything you want, even though you're not good at it. So this is where it opened my eyes when someone that is come from rich and famous family doesn't have to work hard for anything but always get in the way. It is not fair for other people that doesn't come from famous or rich family background. So this proves that there is no equality in this situation.
Assalamualaikum. So now I'm going to talk on power distance experience. We as students, we have experienced this at least once. I had experienced this when one of my group mates, she decided everything for us without any of our agreements, without any discussions. She can accept our opinions, she can accept our ideas, she just won't listen. Whenever we try to voice out our opinions, our ideas, must always have no but. And whenever she changes something in our group work, she won't tell us. She tries to overpower everything, and that makes us feel terrible, horrible, useless, and stupid at the same time.
Assalamualaikum and hi madam. My name is Sabrina and I'm here to talk about how to overcome power distance. So from my point of view, I believe that there is no like legit ways on how to prevent them, on how to overcome them, but I believe that you must take small steps first. You have to look at yourself. For example, if you are someone of authority or you have power on someone or something, or you are a leader, make sure you don't misuse that position, because I believe that as leaders, they are the one who has to like make good example for their people to follow, and not just like point out and say you do this, you do that. No, that's not like I don't think that as like what leaders should do. And then for example, in friends and families context, in families I believe that you must have like hierarchy, some of like hierarchy kind of thing, because in like in Islam teaches us that fathers are the one who take control. Fathers are the head of the family, so I believe we need to have that. And if a certain family doesn't have like a father figure or something, someone has to step up. For example, the mother, the older siblings has to step up to become a good example for their siblings, for their kids to follow. So I think that is very needed. And also in the friends context, I believe that communication is the key, because for example, like what my friend just explained, Mariam explained, in when you are working in a group, things like this tend to happen, because this person said this and this, and then this person is disagree with this person, so it's very hard. And I think communication is the key. You have to understand each other, and then you make decisions together, and then it's good. And also in my experience, because I'm working as a part-time right now, my boss isn't very like on this hierarchy type of thing. He listens to his workers very well, I mean, yes, very well, because my boss is an Arab, so he doesn't really know about the laws in Malaysia, so he has to like always ask the employees to like make sure of is this thing right, is this thing doable in Malaysia. So and then the communication part is very essential in like every kind of situations. So and also in my workplace, I mean, there's no like power distance between races, because he's Arab and we're Malaysians. There's no like this race is much more higher than this one. There's no such thing, because we communicate, and also we all are aware of this racist thing and try to become as cool as we can, as understandable as we can. So that's all from me. Thank you.